The discovery of the two lifeless bodies on Vintém Hill in Niterói, Brazil, on August 20th, 1966, remains one of the most enigmatic cases in Brazilian history. The victims, Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana, were found lying side by side, dressed in formal suits and waterproof coats. Most disturbingly, their eyes were covered with crude lead masks, seemingly handmade. Nearby, investigators found an empty water bottle, 2 wet towels, and a notebook with a cryptic note. 1630B at the specified location. 1830 ingest capsules. After effect protect metals, wait for mask signal. The scene was devoid of any signs of struggle or violence. The mystery deepened as details of their final days surfaced. Both men were electronics technicians from Campos dos Goitacazes and had left their homes on August 17th under the pretense of purchasing work materials. Witnesses reported seeing them in Niterói later that day, where they bought raincoats and a bottle of water before heading toward the hill. A waitress at a local bar recalled Miguel appearing nervous and frequently checking his watch. These seemingly mundane actions would later take on an eerie significance as investigators struggled to piece together the events leading to their deaths. The lead masks themselves became a focal point of the investigation. Crafted from pieces of tubing, they were crudely cut and shaped to cover the eyes and part of the face, secured by straps tied behind the head. Speculation about their purpose ranged from protection against radiation to shielding their vision from an intense light, possibly related to some kind of experiment or ritual. Yet no definitive explanation emerged, leaving investigators baffled. Adding to the puzzle, the note found near the bodies hinted at a planned sequence of events involving capsules and a signal, but no traces of drugs or toxins were discovered due to the advanced decomposition of the corpses. The terrain where the bodies were found complicated the investigation further. Vintém Hill was steep and densely vegetated, making access difficult for both police and forensic teams. By the time authorities reached the scene, decomposition had already set in, rendering autopsies inconclusive. To make matters worse, critical evidence was mishandled. Most notably, the victims' organs, which could have been tested for toxins, were improperly stored and deteriorated before any analysis could be conducted. This series of missteps only deepened the mystery surrounding their deaths. As investigators delved deeper into the lives of Manuel and Miguel, they uncovered their involvement in a peculiar spiritualist group. Members of this group reportedly conducted experiments blending science and mysticism, often attempting to contact spirits or harness unknown energies. The cryptic note, combined with the lead masks, seemed to align with these practices, suggesting that the two men might have been attempting a ritual or experiment on Vintém Hill. However, no other members of the group came forward to confirm this theory, leaving it as mere speculation. The case took an even stranger turn when a local resident reported seeing a bright, glowing object hovering over the hill on the night of August 17th, the same day Manuel and Miguel were last seen alive. This sighting fueled theories of extraterrestrial involvement, with some ufologists speculating that the men had been trying to establish contact with alien beings. While intriguing, these claims lacked tangible evidence and were dismissed by authorities as sensationalism. Still, the combination of the masks, the note, and the unexplained deaths kept public fascination alive. The investigation also explored the possibility of foul play. Witnesses noted that the men had been carrying a significant amount of cash when they left Campos dos Goitacazes, yet none of it was found at the scene. This raised suspicions of robbery, potentially leading to their deaths. However, the lack of physical evidence, no signs of violence or struggle, made this theory difficult to substantiate. Some speculated that their deaths could have been staged to look like a ritual or experiment, masking a more conventional crime. Another theory suggested that Manuel and Miguel might have been victims of a suicide pact. The cryptic instructions in the notebook, combined with their apparent preparation for the event, hinted at deliberate planning. If they had ingested capsules as the note described, it could explain their sudden deaths. Yet, without toxicological evidence, this hypothesis remained unproven. The absence of clear motives or explanations left investigators grasping at straws, and the case quickly became mired in contradictions and dead ends. In 1967, nearly a year after the discovery of the bodies, authorities exhumed Manuel and Miguel in a final attempt to uncover new evidence. However, this effort proved fruitless. The embalming process had been poorly executed, with excessive formaldehyde rendering the remains unsuitable for further toxicological testing. This failure cemented the case as one of Brazil's most infamous unsolved mysteries. Public frustration grew as it became clear that procedural errors and negligence had likely destroyed any chance of finding definitive answers. Meanwhile, rumors about the men's activities before their deaths continued to swirl. Some claimed they had been experimenting with psychotropic substances as part of their spiritualist practices. Others pointed to a mysterious figure known only as Professor Ramayana, who was rumored to have ties to the group and expertise in parapsychology. Despite being questioned by authorities, no concrete evidence linked him to the deaths. The lack of reliable witnesses or physical proof left investigators with little more than conjecture and unanswered questions. The case's connection to a mysterious explosion months earlier added another layer of intrigue. In Atafona, a small coastal town near Campos dos Goitacazes, a sudden blast had reportedly occurred, leaving residents puzzled and terrified. Some theorists speculated that Manuel and Miguel might have been involved in an experiment that went awry, potentially testing equipment or substances tied to their spiritualist pursuits. While no direct link between the explosion and their deaths was established, the coincidence fueled speculation about their activities leading up to the tragedy. As the years passed, theories about extraterrestrial involvement gained traction among ufologists. The glowing object seen over Vintém Hill on the night of their disappearance became a focal point for those convinced that Manuel and Miguel had been attempting to communicate with alien beings. The lead masks, they argued, might have been designed to shield their eyes from harmful radiation or intense light during such contact. Though captivating, these ideas were largely dismissed by mainstream investigators as lacking credible evidence. Despite the lack of resolution, the case left a lasting impact on Brazilian culture. It became a source of fascination for journalists, writers, and filmmakers, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and podcasts. The eerie details, the masks, the cryptic note, the unexplained deaths, captured the imagination of those drawn to unsolved mysteries. Over time, the story evolved into a symbol of humanity's yearning for answers in the face of the unknown, blending elements of science, fiction, spirituality, and criminal investigation. For amateur sleuths and paranormal enthusiasts, the Masks of Lead case remains a puzzle begging to be solved. Online forums are rife with debates about possible explanations, ranging from secret government experiments to elaborate hoaxes. Some researchers have even revisited the site on Vintém Hill in hopes of uncovering overlooked clues. Yet, despite decades of speculation and re-examination, Manuel and Miguel's deaths continue to defy logic and reason, ensuring their story endures as one of Brazil's most perplexing mysteries. The Masks of Lead case has also sparked debates about the role of investigative failures in perpetuating unsolved mysteries. Many experts argue that the mishandling of evidence, including the deterioration of the victim's organs and the delayed autopsy, significantly hindered the investigation. These errors have led some to question whether the truth about Manuel and Miguel's deaths might have been uncovered had proper procedures been followed. The lack of closure has left a lingering sense of injustice, both for the victims and for those seeking answers. Adding to the frustration is the absence of any surviving family members or close associates who could shed light on the men's motivations. While distant relatives occasionally spoke to journalists, their accounts were vague and offered little insight into Manuel and Miguel's activities or state of mind leading up to their deaths. This void has allowed speculation to flourish, with theories ranging from ritualistic suicide to extraterrestrial contact dominating public discourse. The lack of concrete evidence ensures that every hypothesis remains as plausible and as improbable as the next. One of the most chilling aspects of the Masks of Lead case is the cryptic note found near the bodies. Its instructions: 1630, be at the specified location. 1830, ingest capsules. After effect, protect metals, wait for mask signal. Continue to baffle investigators and theorists alike. The deliberate phrasing suggests a carefully planned sequence of actions, yet no one has been able to decipher its true meaning. Was it part of a ritual, a scientific experiment, or something far more sinister? The ambiguity of the note has made it a cornerstone of the mystery, fueling endless speculation. The masks themselves are equally unsettling. Their crude construction, using lead tubing shaped to fit over the eyes, raises questions about their intended purpose. Some experts have suggested they were meant to shield against radiation or intense light, possibly tied to an experiment involving unknown technology. Others believe they were symbolic, perhaps representing a spiritual or esoteric belief held by Manuel and Miguel. Whatever their purpose, the masks remain a haunting reminder of the case's unresolved nature and its ability to unsettle even decades later. The involvement of Brazil's military and federal authorities added an air of conspiracy to the case. Investigators briefly explored whether Manuel and Miguel's deaths were linked to national security concerns, particularly after reports surfaced of a mysterious explosion in Atafona months earlier. While no direct connection was established, the mere suggestion of government interest in the case fueled suspicions of a cover-up. Some theorists believe the men may have stumbled upon sensitive information or technology, leading to their untimely deaths. However, these claims remain speculative at best. The media's coverage of the Masks of Lead case amplified its notoriety, turning it into a national obsession. Newspapers ran sensational headlines speculating about extraterrestrial contact, secret experiments, and occult rituals. The public's fascination with the bizarre details, especially the lead masks, kept the story alive long after the investigation had gone cold. Over time, the case became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring works of fiction and non-fiction that sought to unravel its mysteries or simply capitalize on its eerie allure. The case also highlighted the limitations of forensic science in the 1960s. Without advanced toxicology tests or proper evidence preservation, investigators were left with little to work with. The failure to analyze the capsules mentioned in the note or determine whether the men had ingested any substances proved to be a critical setback. Modern forensic techniques might have provided answers, but at the time, the investigation was plagued by procedural errors and a lack of resources. This gap in technology and expertise left Manuel and Miguel's deaths shrouded in mystery. As years turned into decades, the Masks of Lead case became a magnet for amateur investigators and conspiracy theorists. Online forums and discussion groups dedicated to unsolved mysteries frequently revisit the story, dissecting every detail in search of overlooked clues. Some enthusiasts have even traveled to Vintém Hill, hoping to uncover remnants of evidence missed by authorities. Despite these efforts, the case remains as enigmatic as ever, with no new leads or breakthroughs to offer closure. One of the more unsettling theories surrounding the Masks of Lead case involves the possibility of coercion. Some investigators have speculated that Manuel and Miguel may not have acted alone. The cryptic note, precise timing, and peculiar items found at the scene suggest a level of planning that could imply outside involvement. Could they have been manipulated or pressured into following these instructions? If so, by whom? The absence of any witnesses or suspects has left this theory unproven, but it lingers as a dark possibility. Adding to the eerie atmosphere of the case is the location itself. Vintém Hill, with its steep terrain and dense vegetation, has long been associated with local legends and superstitions. Some residents believe the area is cursed or haunted, a belief that only deepened after the discovery of the bodies. The hill's isolation and natural barriers made it an ideal setting for secrecy, whether for a ritual, experiment, or crime. To this day, locals recount stories of strange lights and unexplained phenomena in the area, keeping its mystique alive. The cryptic nature of the masks of lead case has led to comparisons with other infamous unsolved mysteries worldwide. Some have likened it to the Dyatlov Pass incident, where a group of hikers died under bizarre circumstances in Russia. Both cases share elements of unexplained phenomena, peculiar behavior, and a lack of definitive evidence. These parallels have drawn international attention to Manuel and Miguel's deaths, cementing their place in the annals of global mystery lore. Despite the passage of time, the Masks of Lead case continues to captivate new generations. Documentaries and podcasts dissect every detail, presenting theories ranging from plausible to fantastical. The story's blend of science, spirituality, and the unknown resonates with audiences seeking answers to life's greatest mysteries. For many, the case represents humanity's struggle to understand forces beyond comprehension, whether they be extraterrestrial, spiritual, or simply the result of human error and coincidence. The Masks of Lead case also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of blind curiosity. Manuel and Miguel's pursuit of knowledge, whether scientific, spiritual, or otherworldly, ultimately led them to their deaths. Their story raises questions about the limits of human exploration and the risks of delving into the unknown. Were they victims of their own ambitions, or did external forces play a role in their demise? This duality is part of what makes the case so compelling, as it straddles the line between personal choice and external manipulation. For those who knew Manuel and Miguel, the lack of answers has been particularly painful. Friends and distant relatives described them as intelligent and hard-working men, dedicated to their craft as electronics technicians. Their sudden and inexplicable deaths left loved ones grappling with grief and confusion. The absence of closure has turned their story into a haunting reminder of how easily life can veer into the inexplicable, leaving behind only questions and speculation. Among the many theories, one of the most persistent revolves around the idea of a failed experiment. Manuel and Miguel's background in electronics, combined with their involvement in a spiritualist group, suggests they may have been attempting to merge science with mysticism. Some researchers speculate that the capsules mentioned in the note could have been part of a chemical experiment, while the lead masks were intended to protect them from unknown effects. If this was the case, it's possible that they underestimated the risks, leading to their untimely deaths. However, others argue that the men's deaths were not accidental, but orchestrated. The missing money they carried, and the precise instructions in the note raise suspicions of foul play. Could someone have exploited their beliefs or ambitions for personal gain? This theory paints a darker picture, suggesting that Manuel and Miguel were pawns in a larger scheme. Yet, without concrete evidence or witnesses, this remains another unanswered question in a case filled with uncertainty. The Masks of Lead case also underscores the human tendency to seek patterns and meaning in the inexplicable. The cryptic note, the peculiar masks, and the eerie setting have all contributed to a narrative that feels larger than life. Whether through spiritual rituals, extraterrestrial contact, or scientific experimentation, people have tried to impose logic on a story that defies understanding. This search for answers has kept the case alive in public consciousness, transforming it into a modern legend. For many, the case represents more than just an unsolved mystery. It's a reflection of humanity's fear of the unknown, the Lead masks, in particular, have become a symbol of this unease, embodying both the desire for protection and the inevitability of vulnerability. Manuel and Miguel's deaths remind us that some questions may never be answered, leaving us to grapple with the limits of our knowledge and the mysteries that lie beyond. In the decades since the tragedy, Vintém Hill has become a site of pilgrimage for mystery enthusiasts and paranormal investigators. Some visitors claim to have experienced strange phenomena near the area where the bodies were found: unexplained lights, sudden chills, and an overwhelming sense of unease. While these accounts are anecdotal, they have only added to the hill's reputation as a place shrouded in mystery. For locals, this notoriety has been both a source of fascination and discomfort as the case continues to cast a shadow over their community. Meanwhile, the Masks of Lead case has inspired countless adaptations in popular culture. From fictionalized accounts in Vintém novels to detailed analyses in documentaries and podcasts, the story has been retold in various forms. Each retelling brings new interpretations and theories, ensuring that Manuel and Miguel's deaths remain a topic of discussion. Yet, despite all the attention, the core mystery remains unsolved, a haunting reminder of how some truths can elude even our most determined efforts to uncover them. The Masks of Lead case has also become a touchstone for discussions about the intersection of science and spirituality. Manuel and Miguel's involvement in a spiritualist group suggests they were searching for answers that transcended conventional understanding. Their deaths raise questions about the risks of exploring uncharted territory, whether in pursuit of scientific breakthroughs or spiritual enlightenment. Were they pioneers who pushed too far, or victims of forces they couldn't comprehend? This tension between curiosity and caution continues to resonate with those drawn to their story. For skeptics, the case serves as a reminder of the dangers of speculation without evidence. Theories about extraterrestrial contact, secret experiments, and occult rituals may be captivating, but they often overshadow the human tragedy at the heart of the story. Manuel and Miguel were real people with families, ambitions, and lives cut short under mysterious circumstances. As much as the case has inspired fantastical narratives, it also highlights the importance of grounding investigations in facts, rather than conjecture. Despite the lack of closure, the Masks of Lead case has left a profound impact on those who study it. For investigators, it stands as a cautionary tale about the importance of preserving evidence and following proper procedures. For theorists, it's a puzzle that challenges conventional explanations, inviting speculation about the boundaries of human understanding. And for the public, it's a story that continues to evoke equal parts fascination and dread, a reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. As the years pass, the story of Manuel and Miguel risks fading into obscurity, remembered only by those dedicated to preserving its legacy. Yet, the questions it raises remain as relevant as ever. What drives people to seek answers in realms beyond their comprehension? How do we reconcile curiosity with caution? And what happens when the pursuit of knowledge leads to unintended consequences? The Masks of Lead case may never provide definitive answers, but its enduring mystery ensures that it will continue to captivate and unsettle for generations to come. The cryptic note found near the bodies remains one of the most puzzling elements of the case. Its precise instructions suggest a deliberate plan, yet its meaning has eluded investigators for decades. Some believe it was part of a ritual designed to achieve spiritual or scientific enlightenment, while others argue it could have been a coded message meant to conceal the true nature of their activities. The lack of clarity surrounding the note has turned it into an enduring symbol of the case's mystery, inviting endless speculation about its purpose. Similarly, the lead masks have become an iconic representation of the unknown. Their crude construction and inexplicable function continue to baffle experts and enthusiasts alike. Were they meant to protect Manuel and Miguel from radiation or light during an experiment? Or were they purely symbolic, tied to a belief system or ritual? Whatever their purpose, The masks serve as a haunting reminder of how little we understand about the events that unfolded on Vintém Hill that fateful day. The Masks of Lead case also raises questions about the role of collective memory in shaping unsolved mysteries. Over time, the story has evolved, with new theories and interpretations adding layers to an already complex narrative. Each retelling brings its own perspective, blending fact and speculation in ways that keep the case alive in public consciousness. This phenomenon highlights how mysteries like this can take on a life of their own, becoming less about the truth and more about the stories they inspire. For those who study unsolved cases, the Masks of Lead mystery serves as a reminder of the limits of human understanding. Despite advances in forensic science and investigative techniques, Manuel and Miguel's deaths remain unexplained. Their story challenges our ability to make sense of the unknown, forcing us to confront the possibility that some answers may forever elude us. Yet it's precisely this uncertainty that keeps the case relevant, drawing people back to its haunting details year after year. The Masks of Lead case has also become a symbol of Brazil's fascination with the paranormal and the unexplained. From UFO sightings to spiritualist practices, the country has a long history of grappling with phenomena that defy conventional understanding. Manuel and Miguel's deaths fit neatly into this tradition, blending elements of science fiction, mysticism, and human tragedy. For many, the case is not just a mystery, but a reflection of Brazil's unique cultural relationship with the unknown. Even today, Vintém Hill remains a place steeped in intrigue. Paranormal investigators occasionally visit the site, hoping to uncover overlooked evidence or experience something otherworldly themselves. Local legends about strange lights and eerie occurrences persist, adding to the hill's reputation as a place where reality blurs with the supernatural. While these stories may never provide concrete answers, they ensure that Manuel and Miguel's legacy lives on, continuing to captivate those drawn to the mysteries of the Masks of Lead. The Masks of Lead case also serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of evidence in criminal investigations. The mishandling of the victim's organs and the delayed autopsy robbed investigators of crucial opportunities to uncover the truth. These procedural failures highlight how even small mistakes can have lasting consequences, turning a solvable mystery into an enduring enigma. For those studying the case, this aspect is as frustrating as it is haunting, a testament to how human error can compound the unknown. Yet despite these setbacks, the case continues to inspire curiosity and debate. Amateur investigators, journalists, and paranormal enthusiasts have all contributed to keeping the story alive, each bringing their own theories and interpretations. From extraterrestrial contact to secret experiments, the range of possibilities reflects humanity's endless fascination with what lies beyond our understanding. Manuel and Miguel's deaths may never be explained, but their story remains a powerful reminder of our collective desire to seek answers, even when none can be found. As the Masks of Lead case approaches its 6th decade, it remains a testament to the enduring power of mystery. Manuel and Miguel's deaths have transcended their immediate tragedy, becoming a cultural touchstone that continues to provoke questions about science, spirituality, and the unknown. Their story serves as a mirror, reflecting humanity's deepest fears and curiosities, our desire to explore the limits of understanding, and our dread of what might lie beyond. Ultimately, the Masks of Lead case is not just about two men on a hill in 1966. It's about the universal human experience of grappling with uncertainty. Whether through rituals, experiments, or theories, people have tried to impose meaning on a story that defies explanation. In doing so, they've transformed it into something larger, a symbol of our collective struggle to make sense of the inexplicable. The case may never be solved, but its legacy ensures that Manuel and Miguel will not be forgotten. The Masks of Lead case also highlights the human need to connect seemingly unrelated events. The mysterious explosion in Atafona, the glowing object seen over Vintém Hill, and the cryptic note found near the bodies have all been woven into a narrative that feels almost mythological. Whether these elements are truly connected or simply coincidences remains unknown, but their inclusion has elevated the case from a local tragedy to an enduring legend. This interplay between fact and interpretation is what keeps the story alive, inviting endless speculation. In the end, perhaps the greatest mystery of the Masks of Lead case is not what happened to Manuel and Miguel, but why their story continues to resonate. Is it the eerie details, the masks, the note, the unexplained deaths? Or is it something deeper, a reflection of our own fears and desires to understand what lies beyond our grasp? Whatever the reason, their legacy endures, a haunting reminder that some questions may never have answers. And perhaps that's what makes them so compelling.